Welcome back to the garage, guys. Today we are here back in the garage with the 1964 Beetle. In my last video we did the will it run, and at the end I showed you what my plan was for the rear window. If you watched the first video where we rescued this car and I went around and showed you the entire thing, I pointed out what was going on back here. We had some damage that had been cut at one point, and the rear window was sitting low and the frame was out of whack. So what I did is I cut a section out of a parts Beetle, a 63 parts Beetle, and this is a nice clip. Everything is straight here on the back. So what I've done is just gone ahead and cleaned this up, primed the inside. So I've got this ready to basically weld in. I'll bring you in here and show you closer what's going on and what my plan is. But we're gonna get this window frame welded in today. Let's take a look at the car a little closer, what I've got going on. I went ahead and cut the old window out and sized up the new clip, and that's already done, but I've got some steel here that I welded in underneath as an overlap, so the new clip will lay on that. I've got, this is welded in up here, but I've got the sides just put in with some self-tappers. Of course, those will come out and I'll weld up those holes. Same thing here. So this side here, and the clip will lay on that and give some extra metal to weld to. And then I went ahead and primed this piece up because it is difficult to paint once the window clip is on there. So now I'm gonna get the clip in here and get it all aligned. It pretty much should fit well. This is pretty much my reference right here, is this piece, and then the edge. If that's straight on the ends here, it should align. I've got some clamps, some welding clamps. I'll clamp it all down and some magnets and meticulously make sure that it's straight, do some measurements, and get to welding. So we've got this clamped in. I don't know how much straighter I could get it. Got some magnets up there, got a bunch of clamps along the bottom. Got my spot weld areas cleaned up. I'm gonna try to kind of do it like they did for the factory spot welds. Along the side here. I wish I had a couple more of these magnets, but we'll make it work. And then the seam in here, I'll come back and we'll weld that later. We'll clean that up and weld that, but that's aligned nicely. So I know it's in there as straight as it's gonna get. So let's start welding. Herbie's got his welding blanket on over there, so that'll protect him from any sparks. The rear window is welded in. I went ahead and just sprayed some primer over the bare metal areas just to keep it from flash rusting. What I'm gonna do is come in tomorrow later and fill all this with JB Weld. And then that'll get sanded. And then once the JB Weld is in all the seams, then we'll go ahead and do the body filler to get the lines correct. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it came out. I got the inside of the window frame welded to the car. Now I'm gonna go around these tack welds and put JB Weld in here to really fill this seam. Well, there you go, guys. The window clip is in. For now, that about wraps up the project until I'm ready to actually do the body work. I think first what we're gonna do here is I'm going to get this body pulled off of the chassis, get the two pan halves replaced with the body off, and then I'd like to get the chassis actually driving. That means getting the brakes all set and redone. I'll probably rebuild the entire brake system, including all the hard brake lines, soft brake lines, and all the brake parts. And then drive it with the body off, so I know it's good to go. And then at that point, we'll tackle the body work and the interior. It's coming along. The plan today is to remove the body off the chassis so we can get the pan all cleaned up, floors replaced, and brakes done, the whole deal. So these are the stands that I built that are gonna run through the wheel wells. And I'm gonna lift the car with the engine hoist. I've got all the bolts disconnected. Disconnecting the body from the pan. And I tested it earlier and it started to rise and separate. So it should be good. So what I'm gonna do is unscrew this here just on one side of this stand. And as I lift the car, I'm gonna feed this 2x4 under the wheel well. And then I'll bring this vertical piece over there and we'll screw that back. And then I've got some more metal bracket bracing for the top here because I don't want it bending over. These stands are on casters, which will allow me to roll it around the garage separate from the frame. Let's get started. All right, let's get this lifted. All right, so you can see I've got it raised just a little bit in the front here, and I threw a 2x4 just running over the tires. What's happening is this piece is starting to push into the transmission, which I don't care so much right now because I'm replacing that. But when we put the body back on, I want to make sure I do it right. So it might be better to do the back first and pivot it on the front, and then you don't risk crushing metal into the driveline there. Okay, so now we're gonna lift the back, and I'm gonna see if I can work this stand in here, and we'll get the back started first. All right, so it wasn't coming up too easy in the back, so I'm gonna drop it down in the front here. Get this 2x4 out. And we're gonna try from the back. All right, let's see if that's high enough. No, it is not. A little bit more. Feeding this guy through. Go ahead. All right, you can see I pushed one side of the stand through. Now we'll connect the other vertical side of that stand to that 2x4 and slowly let it down and see what happens. Okay, now that I've got the car down, I'm going to put some metal, screw in some metal brackets just to strengthen that top piece just a little bit. Okay. All right, now that we got the back up, we're gonna move around the front. We got the front up. Seems good so far. So now we're gonna slide under our rack under there. All right, so we've got the stand in the front here. I'm gonna screw this one in and then we'll put the metal brackets on there and let it down. We might have to put another 2x4 to get this to clear. I know the rear wheels are not gonna clear. I'll probably have to take the rear wheels off because they will hit the body there as I roll it out. So I might have to have the brake drums sitting on the dolly to wheel it back and forth underneath the car. All right, I got the rear wheels off. And right now the body is not high enough to take the chassis out with the wheels on. So I took the wheels off and put them down on the casters, on the drums. I think I'll raise the body up. It's probably just another 5 inches. So maybe like a couple 4x4s and it'll be good because I'd like to be able to roll it underneath with the wheels on. So there we are, so we're about ready to take the front wheels off and roll it on out. Okay, so we got the body lifted and the frames built underneath. The chassis is completely separate from the body now, so we're gonna go ahead and roll it out. Ready, bro?
Yeah.
Slow. All right, okay, pull. Slow. It's catching on something. Yeah. Oh, shifter, back up.
Okay, back up. Oh yeah, you're closer.
Okay, I gotta pull the shifter out. Now we got the shifter out.
Oh yeah, it's
Caught up?
maybe not. I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah, it did fall off.
Oh, it's just off the wheel base on the front.
Yeah. Or it didn't get caught up.
It's right here. It came off the dolly thing.
Yeah.
Slow.
It's coming up with the
I gotta figure out a better system for this.
I know.
All right, so we've got the floor pans out here, the chassis separated from the body. I'm gonna start by kind of cleaning this up a little bit and getting the accelerator pedal clutch assembly out, and I'm gonna start cutting these old floor pans out. All right, so we're removing the pedal assembly. The master cylinder is kind of frozen to my brake pedal here. I think I can probably better remove it by removing our brake lines. This is a good tool. It allows you to fit over the tube. They're called tubing wrenches. Perfect for brakes. And now instead of having just a regular opened end, you've got a nice, like pretty much an open box end wrench. And it probably will help with the install too. Got the floor pans off. It's a lot easier taking them out outside the car. When I restored Herbie over here, I did a body on floor pan replacement, which I would suggest if you're not willing to take the body off. It's a lot of work, but I mean, it's worth it if you're restoring the car. But if you've got a nice car and it just needs floor pans, you can do it with the body on. Saves yourself a lot of time, and it's just as good of a job for the most part. There you go. Everything else is pretty good on here. I'm gonna roll it out tomorrow and probably power wash it and clean it the best I can. And I'll end up pulling this transmission. We'll get that all cleaned up, painted, new boots and stuff like that, and new mounts. And then I'll repaint, everything on here black. Get new shocks and brakes and the whole deal. I ordered a bunch of parts for it today. So there you go. It's noisy out here. We've got construction next door. But got the body tucked back over here by Herbie. And just to show you, I bridged the two stands with a 2x4 connecting the front and the back. That way, when I'm moving it around, it doesn't, they don't, fold forward or back on me. And like I said, I'm probably gonna put probably another 2x4 here and a 4x4 to raise this up a few inches to get the tires to clear. And that way I can get the frame rolled under with the tires on it. Yeah, it works really well. And I can pretty much move this guy with one hand. It's kind of hard to see, but the casters I've got set up on here, it's working nice. Well guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I appreciate you coming back for another video on this 1964 Beetle. We got that rear window installed, the body removed, the chassis pans, the pan hefts taken out. For the next video, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start tackling this chassis and pan. We've got the new pans coming, we've got some new parts. I wanna get this thing cleaned up and painted. So stay tuned for that in the next video. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Have a good one.